Hey gorgeous, it's Denise Duffield-Thomas here, money mindset mentor, best-selling author and founder of the Money Bootcamp. Now, I knew forever that I wanted to create $1 million business pretty much since I was a little kid, even before I had any real business ideas. And in my 20s, I remember thinking, oh my God, I have to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30 or I'll be such a loser. And it took me until I was 35, so that's not too bad. And I've been a multimillionaire for quite a few years now. And there are certain success habits that I have cultivated to get me to this level. These are the success habits that will take you from zero to earning that first 1,000 in your business and then to 6 figures and then beyond to 7 figures. So let me share and get straight into it. They might surprise you. Tip number 1 is actually focusing on the basics because the basics work. And once you realize you can do the basics over and over again, you stop searching for that silver bullet solution that keeps you away from making your money. You really don't need to find someone else's formula or a magic formula because most people create $1 million businesses from doing the basics. For example, my basics are I share on social media every day, something like a quote or a picture or a video. I send out a weekly newsletter every single week without fail, and I've done that for 10 years. My business is not complicated. It's really, really basic. And yes, it sometimes gets boring and repetitive doing the basics again and again. Do I sometimes not feel like doing those basics? Absolutely. But that consistency in my marketing has grown my business. And I actually don't have any advanced marketing strategies that I do, and especially none that you wouldn't already know. The reason why this is such an unused success habit is because people get really impatient. They get bored and they think that something like that's mundane and simple won't be the thing that will get them there. But for me, that habit has absolutely helped me create a multi-million-dollar business. It's the same stuff that I started out with 10 years ago, just me in front of a camera, showing up every day. Don't feel like it has to be any more complicated than that, but make sure that you have those basics in place and you're actually doing them. Which comes to my second tip for creating $1 million business. It's being consistent. I am super consistent in my business. And as I said, you'll get a newsletter from me every single week, and I pretty much show up on social media every day. That does not happen by accident. That is a really clear decision that I've made to be consistent. So I have a ton of people on my newsletter list, for example, like 100,000 people, but the work is the same as when there were like 2 people or 100 people on my newsletter list. But that has only grown through consistency, showing up every single week without fail. Now, here's a tip. When I started out and I didn't have that many people on my newsletter list, I would send it out as if there were thousands of people. And I would tell myself, somebody out there is waiting for this. And that's why I send it out instead of procrastinating. And years later, someone would say, I wait for your newsletter every single week. And I manifested that years before it actually happened. That consistency is such an amazing habit for any entrepreneur who wants to grow their income. And that is how you're going to take things to the next level. Now, the other part of this is that I actually haven't changed my business model that much throughout the years. I've been consistent in what I've been offering. And I see people change every couple of months. And it's okay to shift and evolve. But some people seem to change their focus week by week, and it can be really confusing for their audience because they don't know how they can rely on you or if they can even rely on you. So, when you watch my videos or visit my website, I'm going to talk about money mindset, and pricing. That's pretty much all I talk about. And I don't go in other random directions. But that's not saying I haven't done it in the past. Like I had some spin-offs. I had Get Hitched Lucky Bee, for example, which was a soulmate course about attracting your partner. And I did invest time and money. I created a book around it. I created a course. And then I reminded myself, hang on, this isn't being consistent with my brand. This isn't how I want to be known. So that consistency is really the key. Now, tip number 3 is about keeping it simple. I'm all about simplicity. And that's exactly what my book's about, by the way, Chillpreneur, making things easy and profitable and simple. So if you keep things really simple in your business model, people will get clear on how they can work with you. And that is going to grow your business because they'll know what they give you money for. If you're trying to be everything to everyone, it's not going to give you the clarity and focus that money likes. And it will make people confused about how you can help them. Don't confuse your potential clients with a million different things. So you know how to work with me, right? Literally, you can join my Money Bootcamp. That's it. And in fact, that's my motto that keeps me on track. All roads lead to bootcamp. And eventually, you will join my Money Bootcamp because I've made it really simple for you and I don't have a million things for you to buy. But you can't do my soulmate course anymore, get hitched, because I killed it. It wasn't part of my consistent brand and it wasn't part of my unique zone of genius. So keep it simple. You don't have to do everything. Tip number 4 about creating $1 million business: make decisions that are right for you. You can't be swayed by other people's opinions about what you should do or what your mentors are doing or even trends that are happening in the world right now. Even your audience might ask you to do something and you think, maybe. It's really easy to get off track and you have to make decisions that feel really good for you right now, for the season of life that you're in, and importantly, what you actually love to do. Now, sometimes I see a new marketing tool and I get FOMO, or I think, maybe I should start a podcast, or I don't know, do something else. And people ask me to do things like create a mastermind. And I know that I could make a lot of money out of it, but it doesn't fit my strengths or my lifestyle or the stage of life I'm in right now. End of story. So people could be asking you to change your business model for something that suits them. And if it doesn't feel good to you, it's okay to say no. It's okay to not be all the things to all the people, even if you would make some money out of it. So make clear decisions based on your values and what your business model is, and that's going to be the thing that will help you flow more money. Now, it could be just simply making decisions about who you work with, who you partner with, what events you speak at, or even what groups you join as well. Just being really deliberate about those decisions has helped me grow $1 million business quickly, but also not being distracted by shiny objects or what other people think that I should do. It's your business, it's your rules. You can serve a lot more people if you come at a place from joy rather than a place of obligation. Your business, your rules. Okay, tip number 5. This is crucial. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I think a huge part of why I built $1 million business so quickly is because I surrounded myself with people who also wanted to have a 7-figure $1 million business. A couple of years ago, I was invited into a mastermind with someone who was like a little bit of ahead in business than me. And she was creating this group of women who wanted to go to 7 figures and beyond. And at first I was so intimidated because I felt like a fraud, but I knew it was an important next step for me. You have to surround yourself with people who are going where you want to go because it will help you believe that it's possible for you too. If you see other people in your network doing it, you can also hear about their real struggles and it will feel real to you. You'll just see that they're normal people who are just doing the basics and being consistent, all the things I've already said. So a perfect example of this is that I went to a conference. One of the speakers had a $10 million business. And he was like, I'm going to share my entire strategy of having $1 million business. And each thing I was like, oh yeah, I do that. Oh yeah, I do that too. I do that. And then I was like, this must be the basic bit. And then he's going to go into the advanced stuff. And then he was like, that's it. That's what I do to have a $10 million business. And that's when I realized that, first of all, there's no advanced strategies. And secondly, it's so important to see people who are making the money that you aspire to make and see them just as normal people who are just doing the basics again and again. He was super consistent and he just thought a bit bigger, but his business was very simple. He made very clear, conscious decisions about how he was going to spend his time. And guess what? He wasn't trying to be and do everything for everyone. And he was surrounding himself with other people who also made $10 million, just like that. So that's really important, to surround yourself with like-minded people. Very simple. Tip number 6 is, why not me? And you have to ask yourself, why not me too? It's really easy to put someone on a pedestal and think, well, look at her, like she's skinnier than me, so of course she's successful. Really weird example, but like, well, it's okay for them. They've got something that I don't have. Oh, well, she's married, so of course she's successful. Something, or she lives in Hawaii, of course she's successful living near the beach. Maybe you think, well, I would be successful too if I lived in Hawaii. Whatever your excuse is, you really have to ask yourself, hey, why not me too? Why not you? Even with all of your insecurities and flaws, just ask, why not you? Realize that you can be a role model for other people too if you just get out of your own way. And why not you? You can be a millionaire if you want to be a millionaire. You can have a 6-figure business if you want to. Why not you? All right, tip number 7. You got to work on your money blocks. This last success habit helped me to get to 6 figures and then to 7 figures. And it is something that I still work on today, constantly. You might think that you'll get to a certain level of business and you don't have any more fears, you have no more money blocks, but it's not true. Because money itself doesn't cure money blocks. Money itself doesn't cure fear. It's pretty nice though, but it makes me laugh thinking about it because people think that, you'll get to this perfect stage. But people that I know, my mastermind buddies, we are constantly working on ourselves because that's how we became successful in the first place. Having the mindset that there's always more to learn. There's always more to uncover about ourselves. There's always more money blocks to work on. I have to work on my recurring money blocks all the time. For example, I have to really work on that feeling that I have to work really hard to make money. And so sometimes I make things harder for myself than I need to. And of course, every time I hit a new stage in my business, some of my old blocks come up. So I have to deal with this all the time. I have to work on my fears and insecurities about being in business. This is a process of continuous learning and continuous personal development. All right, so that were my 7 tips about how I got to 6 and then 7 figures, and the tips on how I've become a multi-millionaire. I'm not perfect. I'm not super smart. I'm not smarter than you or better than you. It's just pretty simple. So over to you. Which one of these habits do you need to cultivate for yourself? Because it's totally possible for you just to follow these tips and become a millionaire as well. So reminder of those: do the basics work, be consistent, keep it really, really simple, make decisions based on what you want to do and your values, surround yourself with successful people who are also making money, ask yourself, why not me? And the last one is to work on your money mindset. Now, if you're still new to this conversation, you're still new to money blocks, or think that you have hit a wall with working on your money blocks, well, guess what? There's always more work to do, as I said. I have a free resource for you. It's a free money blocks audio, and I want to make sure that you sign up for that today so you can work on it. And I talk about 7 specific money blocks that most people have in business and what to do about it. Now, you might think, oh, that's just for beginners, but it's not. Usually when you have a money block, you have it for the rest of your business life. As I said, I have to work on mine all the time, and you have to work on yours in different ways too, because it will come up again and again in different ways. So it's worth carving out some time to listen to that free audio class. And you can get it now, my gift to you, at denisedt.com/blocks. All right, gorgeous. It's your time to take your business to the next level, and you're totally ready. It's your time and you're ready for that next step. Hey gorgeous, it's Denise here again. I would love to invite you into my brand new free money masterclass. I'll be talking about 7 big money blocks and exactly how you can clear them. I want to help you break free of your limiting beliefs so you can go to the next level of income. It's going to be easier than you think, but it all starts with getting out of your own way. Join me today over at denisedt.com/blocks and let's get started together.